Hello class, welcome to the next segment in the week 2 material. And in this segment we're going to take a look at the greater than or equal to as well as the less than or equal to operations that we can incorporate into if statements. So in the previous segment we took a look at greater than and less than operations or comparisons, and in this segment we're going to take a look at how to accomplish greater than or equal to and less than or equal to. So same exact variable that we had before appears up on line 1, x is still equal to 10. And down here I have sort of a similar if statement, but here I have if x is greater than, and then I have an equal sign that immediately follows that. And that's the setup that you would want to use if you want the computer to ask if the quantity on the left-hand side is greater than or equal to the quantity that appears on the right-hand side. And the order here is actually very important. So in general, which we'll look at as well a little bit later on, you want the greater than or the less than symbol to appear first. That must be the very first thing, and then immediately afterwards, that's where you put the equal sign. So you can't reverse the order here. If you were to attempt something like this, you would get an error message. So make sure that you have the greater than or the less than symbol first, and then the equal sign must immediately follow that. But other than that, it's just like any other if statement that we've seen before. And if this condition is met, then the indentation that appears below it, the indented statements, if there's more than one that appear below it, that will in fact be something the computer acts on. And on line 6 here, we have the computer asking if the variable x is less than or equal to a particular quantity. In this case, we're asking if x is less than or equal to the number 12. And again, same order up here. The greater than or the less than symbol appears first, and then the equal sign immediately follows that. And again, that order is very strictly enforced. There's no getting around that. It's got to be the greater than or the less than symbol first, then the equal sign will immediately follow that. But just based on the logic behind this, we would expect the computer to, this condition up here will fail since 10 is not greater than or equal to 100. But this condition down here on line 6 should be met because 10 is in fact less than or equal to 12, which means this print statement that's indented will be the only thing that the program actually does. So if we want to go ahead and verify that for ourselves, we can launch this program and run it. And you can see it does print out x is not yet a teenager if it represents an age, which corresponds to this print statement that we have here on line 7. And if we want to test the reverse case, so here I'll add an extra 0 here to x to make it 100, which should now meet this condition. X is in fact greater than or equal to 100, but this condition will now fail since 100 is not less than or equal to 12. And if we want to verify that, we do in fact get this print statement up here. Since this condition was met, this indentation will be run, but since this condition fails, this indented print statement will be ignored. And you can see we do in fact get a result that is consistent with what I just stated. But that's going to do it for this segment on greater than or equal to, as well as less than or equal to operators in if statements. And there's a few other things that we're going to talk about in if statements, and that's going to be something that we cover in the next segment. So with that, I will see you all in the next segment.